Well, that's not a good start.
The other one didn't look that bad, right?
We about to turn it on, about to turn it on.
All right, so we're gonna get started. As you see it right now, drove in here. So what we're gonna do today is to take the top end of the engine apart, and we're gonna go ahead and get the injectors cleaned and then get the cylinder heads and valve springs changed. I'm about to get busy. Well, that's not a good start, but we're gonna get the antifreeze out of it. This is something that we've been meaning to do on the car for a while anyways. We should be running with water. We know better than that. But we're gonna go ahead and get the exhaust down and the downpipe and go back to the top and go to the turbo. But Cousin Paul pulled a plug out of the radiator. Had some shit in it. That's crazy. It's gasket, that's for sure, whatever it is. So we're definitely moving along pretty fast. I almost got this header off, got all the attachments and stuff. You know, Cousin Paul's working on the driver's side. We've already taken the downpipe, most of the exhaust off. We're gonna do a quick compression test on the motor, make sure it's not hurt, keep moving on. But guys, sometimes this stuff just sucks to do, and you know, you just gotta do it. You know, you nip a gasket or whatever, lift the head. It's just, it is what it is. Gotta stay motivated to get it done. So this isn't too bad for being, we armored these up, you know, welded this on 3 header up years ago. It was cracked up, and gives me an opportunity now to kind of take a look at it. And you can see after about 3 years and a lot of back pressure, it still hasn't really cracked on us at all. But we're gonna double check everything again. Looks like it's sealed pretty good too, look at that. Considering, which is the hardest one to do, and I had an old Mr. Gasket one in there, so that's kind of neat. Worked out pretty well for me. I got new ones now, but we're gonna compression test this motor too before we pull the intake. Sitting right at just under 150. I'm happy about that. That's a pretty good. All right, this is cylinder number 2. Go ahead. Close enough. I was calling that other one 149. I'm gonna call this one 154. Okay, so cylinder 3. That's right on 150. That's what I'm gonna call it.
It's right on there.
All right, so this is cylinder number 4. Hit it. I'll call that 157, 156. All right, so number 5, compression. Here we go. $158. This is number 6 cylinder. Go ahead and hit it. That's 163. We're gonna call it 3. So this is cylinder number 7. Go ahead. So I'm seeing a 167. All right, so this is compression number 8. Go ahead. Good. So we're sitting right at 164. Yeah, we'll call it 164. So I bought this little snake light to go inside of my headers to check to see if there's cracks or whatever. So we're gonna turn all the lights off in the garage and see if we can't get something to shine. That's the back of the housing there, which is kind of impressive for being an on-3 kit. We did pretty good keeping this thing welded together over the years. Let me go at it again here. See if I can't find a crack somewhere. So impressive, no cracks at all. As you can see, we've modified this header quite a bit. We armored it up and gusseted it and did a bunch of reinforcing. So pretty bright LED snake light that can go into all these little chambers here. And we checked them all the best we can with all the lights off in the garage, as you've seen, and absolutely no cracks. That's a big plus. Okay, well, at least we get to we'll take the intake off now. We're going to be able to actually take all these injectors off on the ground because these haven't been cleaned in years. So we're going to move it forward because we got fuel lines still hooked up in the back. We should be able to get the intake. It's really glued in the back. Oh, careful. All right. Gotta clean up a mess, but we should be good to go. Well, boys, we didn't split a block, that's for sure. We did glue the shit out of it, though. These are, like I said, these are the short travel Morel HLTs, and I told you guys this was a non-roller block. Even though we did drill and tap it, this is what it looks like. 93 block. So I'm gonna look real quick on the intake gasket to see. I'm going to roll it over. I'm not real worried about it. This is one thing I like about the trick flow box R. So I want to see if I actually pushed. Look right here, Paul. Look at this.
Oh yeah.
Very good possibility. Well, maybe it just pinched. It still would have sealed. You got to look at this because it's very possible that I could have pushed an intake gasket too. With too much boost coming through, but probably not the case. It would be a big blowed mark somewhere. This looks pretty good. This is a 90 thou. I think this is a 1262R, but this is probably where you got that thing in the antifreeze right here, that rubber. It doesn't look like I pushed a intake gasket at all. Most likely, it showed its face with, when we put it in the boost. So we're almost there. We're gonna take the valve train off, and I'll talk to you guys here in a minute. Compression came out pretty good. This side was a little bit weaker than the other side, which tells me that very possible that's the side that had a bad head gasket. About to pull this cylinder head off. Gotta make a mess, but that's okay. We got something underneath of it. Now we're gonna see how bad this gasket is. Look at this. See it? Mm-hmm. It's right there is where it lifted. See the lift right here?
Mm-hmm. Right at the back of the motor.
Right at the back of the motor. This was loose too, look. Look at this. Like, I would never have installed them like this.
No.
She's still good for a whole another year. Ate a belt, man. I don't see anything on the piston on this side. Look at that hatch in there, dude. Look at that.
Nice.
That's sick, bro. So we'll get the head gasket off, but I'm pretty sure it was in the rear back there.
Oh, did they get my foot?
See that? It lifted the whole gasket here. We definitely got something in the motor there. Must have been from the belt there. Got smoked. Well, Dad, everything else looks super clean. This gasket doesn't look anything like the other one. Possibly got to be careful with that shim. See that shim's doing right there? Just trying to fall down on my motor. Yeah, this gasket doesn't look as bad. It's definitely been through some abuse. But the other one, compared to the other one, probably was right here where it blew out at. You know what I mean? So this would have been...
So this one here is the one that let a
number 5.
little bit of compression out. Maybe a little there. It should have looked like this. That's what it's supposed to look like.
So number 5 and number 6.
A little black out here. No carbon.
The other one didn't look that bad, right?
No, the other one didn't. That's just the driver's side.
So this is where we lifted. So that one at 4...
It may have gone here a little, maybe.
That's where the gasket was jacked up right here.
Okay. Yeah. So that's. I mean, sometimes you'll go between the layers.
Right.
It won't even be against the header of the block. It can actually be between the layers.
So this is a couple days after the tear down. We were tearing the motor down, and like I said, we're doing our valve springs and we're doing quite a bit. So you guys got to stick around for. And this is a sneaky little new engine build.
Stop.
I'm not gonna put that on there. Got a chance to look at, this is a Junkyard 351. This motor's been boosted before, like I had mentioned in the other videos. This is actually the second time it's been boosted. It was a 357 before on 18 pounds. Now it's a 410 on 18 pounds, and I don't have any issues with the block. You know, the oil's like 60 pressure. I mean, the shit works, guys. These are all Wiseco pistons. They're not coated, forged bottom end, zero balanced. You know, Morel lifters, the short throw, or HLT, which is the limited travel, like 15 to 20 thousandths plunger or whatever. But this is an old junkyard block, man. We used to, you know, we've been beating the shit out of this thing for 3 years. The first time this has been looked at in 3 years. So it's been getting nothing but faster and faster for forever. Sorry, the video is a little bit boring, but you got a chance to look inside of a boosted junkyard block that still runs very well. So some of the parts that we had looked at, these heads are going to get new springs. You know, after so many years, these things wear out like tires. We just did a video on it, and they weren't terrible. At like 6,000 RPM, it was kind of falling on its face. So a new set of springs. These are 180, 420. We're going to go to like a 220, 500 on the springs. We're going to go ahead and cut the heads, get them clean, go through our seats, check our valves, make sure they're not bent. Got a couple suspects on the seats. They'll definitely be fresh. The motor will be ready to go again. You'll be making some good power, and it'll be sealed back up. So outside of that, everything else looks pretty good. No cracks on my headers, which super surprised me. It gives me a chance to do some of the maintenance on this engine that I've been wanting to do for a long time. We're gonna go through the rockers and all the valve training and everything. This is the maintenance you get when you're trying to make power in any sort of racing genre. So right now we're gonna go ahead and get this thing covered up. If you guys enjoy this sort of video, leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys soon in the next video. Thanks for watching.